Hey, what's up guys? It's Tyson at Redmond Used Motorcycles. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm gonna be starting the rebuild of this 2022 Kawasaki Ninja 400 that I picked up from Copart. I picked up two Ninja 400s from Copart when I was up there, and this one was the one that had a little bit more severe damage to it. So this one has some serious front end damage. The headlight was dangling, so I removed it from the bike. And if you look in here, you can see that the fork tube is definitely bent. Luckily, I got a set of forks off of a Ninja 400 that I'm gonna swap over. And so for this guy, first thing we're gonna do is strip off a bunch of this damaged fairing and try to pull the front end off of the bike so that I can get a better look at everything underneath. And if that all looks good, we can get this front end fork swap going. All right, we got the fork tubes pulled off. Got them right here, and they are definitely 100% bent. This one's super bent, this one a little bit, not as much. But we've got these fork tubes that got off eBay, came from a Ninja 400 with about the same miles, so we're gonna slap these on. All right, well, we got the left and right fork installed and everything lined up great. I got these forks from a non-ABS version Ninja 400. Even though this was originally an ABS, I'm gonna pull the fuse for the ABS system and make it a non-ABS bike, which will give it better stopping power. All right, so we got the side fairings and the upper fairing off, and the upper fairing stay looks pretty good with the exception of this one headlight mount point. It should look like that. So I'm gonna try to use my slide hammer to see if I can pull out that bent piece of upper fairing stay. All right, good news. The upper fairing stay we were able to pull out using the slide hammer, and now everything mounts up just fine. The next step's gonna be, we're gonna take the headlight from this green fairing set, put it into the black and orange upper fairing, and we're gonna use that as the donor for this bike. All right, you got the new headlight mounted up into the black upper, and we're gonna mount this and that gray bodywork. We got a lot done. The front end's been swapped out, new headlights installed, the upper fairing stay's been repaired, side fairings and upper fairing have been installed. I'm gonna wrap it up for today, but for you guys, it'll just be a couple seconds. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, we are back. It has been a few days. Today, I'm gonna go ahead and swap out this teal tail section for the matching gray and orange tail section. We're gonna do an oil change on this bike and try to get it all put back together. So hopefully we'll be able to get this all dialed in the next 2 hours and take it out for a test drive. got the new tail section installed and the lock cylinder swapped over from the other tail section, so now the trunk release works great. I've got a donor set of seat, passenger and rider seat to replace those leather quilted ones that this one came with. They were actually kind of nice, but I think most people would just prefer the stock seat. So now that I got the new tail section installed, I'm gonna go ahead and run this bike and heat cycle it. I'm noticing that the coolant level seems pretty high, so I want to get the bike up to temperature, get that water pump circulating to see if that will get the coolant level to adjust, and then if not, I'll take some of the coolant out of there and get it in between the full and the low mark. Then I'm gonna drop the oil, do an oil change, and then we'll put this thing all back together. Now this will be the first time that I'm really running this bike since picking it up from Copart, so a couple things I always like to check before I do a heat cycle like this is to make sure that the bike has oil in it. And here's the sight glass window. When we stand the bike upright, you can see that it does have oil in it. It's a little dirty. We're gonna be doing a swap, but that means it's safe to heat cycle it. Then of course you wanna make sure that there aren't any coolant leaks or any other noticeable cracks or damages to the engine. So let's go ahead and fire it up. One other thing I noticed when I was just firing it up, and I'll show you guys here, is that sometimes when a bike's been sitting outside, the hand control can get gunked up inside, and so the starter button connectors can get fouled a little bit and they'll have trouble starting. So I'll just show you guys right now. Pushing the starter sometimes doesn't make it engaged, but if you just keep pushing it and pushing it, that's a good way to test to see if it is gunked up. So you can see now it is fired up. We're gonna let it get warm, and then I'll take apart this hand control and get that connector cleaned up so that it starts normally every single time. But the bike sounds great. It's got this nice Leo Vince slip-on on it. We'll get it heat cycled and then do an oil change. All right, so we got some of the coolant drained out of the reservoir, got this much taken out of it. I think it was a little overfilled. Radiator is completely full of coolant, so now that's at the proper level. Down here, we've got the engine oil change. Now it's sitting right between the top and low bar, which is perfect. So now we'll get this bike all put back together with all the new fairings, then we'll take it out for a test ride.
A few moments later.
All right, guys, so out on the test ride, I noticed there was a weird vibration coming through the handlebars when I let go of the handlebars specifically. I'm gonna try to get it repaired. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna go ahead and find a replacement front wheel. There's another Ninja 400 going up on Copart.
Several days later.
What's up, guys? It's been a couple days and I've got some updates on the Ninja 400. I mounted a new set of tires onto this bike, a set of Michelin Mutant tires, and rebalanced them, and the vibration that I was feeling from the front wheel is now gone. So at least for the time being, I'm going to consider that resolved. I did get a new tank cover in today to cover this teal tank, so then the bodywork will flow much more nicely. We're going to go ahead and get that thing installed right now. We got the new black tank cover installed. We're gonna go ahead and take this bike for a final test drive just to make sure everything is working properly. So yeah, let's jump into that. Of course, the microphone on my GoPro decided not to work for the test drive, but the test drive itself went amazingly. The bike handled great with the new set of Dunlop Mutant tires mounted and balanced. The engine was super happy with the fresh oil change that I'd done to it, and all the bodywork was mounted up tightly, looked great, and overall the bike repair was complete, and I was super happy with how it went out on the test ride. Thanks for watching this rebuild video of this 2022 Kawasaki Ninja 400. I'd really appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button, as it really does help my channel. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. I've got 2 more Ninja 400 rebuild projects in the pipeline. Those will be coming out here in the next few weeks. So until then, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.